Hey guys, making this video because having issues with the Meepo Hurricane again. The motor seized up on me, and I'm actually going in reverse. I already fixed the board. I ended up going to the hardware shop on my one wheel to get replacement screws. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit what's going on here. Kind of going in reverse here, because I already fixed the board. It does seem to be working fine now. I'm going to take for a ride after I make this video here and make sure it's working. If it's not, I'll update and post something. But it appears as though they're just not putting the work into this here. Ultimately, the set screw that is used to keep the main gear on the drive shaft, they didn't put thread locker on, so it backed out and it seized up my motor. Luckily, I was only half mile away from home, and I had to walk all the way back home pulling the board behind me. Took it apart, figured out the problem, ended up sending Meepo an email. Haven't heard back from them yet, but that kind of makes sense. They're in China. Took the one side apart, rode the one wheel up to the local hardware shop, found a set screw that was the same threads as the set screw that was in it, 5mm, and bought two just in case the other one was having an issue. So came back, fixed the one side, took the other side apart because I wanted to make sure, and guess what? That one was coming loose too. So yeah, and it didn't have any thread locker on it. The screws, the set screws, and I kind of wish I had a picture of this, were also kind of small for the amount of thread surface space that they had provided. They went cheap. And then what I found was I had one of the motor cover plates. One of the screws actually busted. The end of it was broken off, and then when I went to put everything back together, another one popped off. And I'm tightening this stuff by hand with their tool, and this thing's like plastic, so you can't really over tight with this thing. They're just using cheap product. So Meepo, I hope you see this, and I hope you use some better equipment, because now I'm gonna have to go out and try to find two more of these screws, because the head was completely, here's the head, sheared completely off. So, and again, I don't know, my other video will show this, but this is what happened with the set screw. It rubbed down so much that it completely removed the Allen key impression where you would actually screw it in. It's gone. So that's terrible. That's how much it backed out. So I ended up using, instead of, let's see here, I ended up using, these are the screws I purchased plus the one that was still in it. So the ones I purchased, I bought four. I bought two longer ones and two shorter ones, because with this being ground down like it was, I wasn't sure what the proper length was. So I used the little bit longer ones with some thread locker. They're not sticking back out, so that it gives it more thread surface space. It's with the thread locker, the chances of it backing out are going to be slim. So all right, well, again, I hope this video helps you guys. This is going a little bit in reverse because I've just finished fixing the board, but I'm going to put this in the beginning. Next is going to follow the initial problem, and then the takedown of the board, showing you where I discovered that this backed out and was rubbing inside the plate and just destroyed it. So just keep this in mind, guys. The board, when it runs, is great. I like the board. I enjoyed the board. And today was a beautiful day outside. I wanted to ride the board. Made it a half mile until the thing seized up on me, and it almost sent me off the board. So Luckily, I wasn't going too fast when it seized up. Just the product quality, their screws that they're choosing are cheap. The fact that they didn't want to put any thread locker on a few of their screws, because there was initially, when I bought this board, there were 4 screws that hold the stator to the motor mount, and those backed out on me and seized my board up on both sides. No thread locker, that's the problem. Guess what? I put thread locker on and there wasn't a problem since. So Meepo, put a little more money into your board. It's not going to cost you that much more to throw a little thread locker on everything, because that's probably would have solved everything. It probably would have kept this from backing out on me, and it probably would have kept the initial stuff from happening. These, where they're shearing off, they're tiny. All right, the board succumbs to a lot of rattling, shaking. I mean, it's an off-road board, and I'm riding it on roads that are just rough. So, all right, I'll take this with a grain of salt, but you should probably throw a few extra of these in the box when you sell it then, because it's easy enough to take the plate off, get these out, because they have a good amount of headspace. Basically, where you see the blue Loctite there, that's blue Loctite they put on, not me, so they do put on some of their screws. About that much headspace, so you can kind of pull it back out. Alright guys, I'm not a whiz with doing these videos yet. I'm working on it, so I accidentally paused the video, but I was almost done recording anyways. I was talking about the headspace here and how this busted off. When you remove the plate, there's enough room for you to grab the end of the screw and back it out. That's what I was getting to before I accidentally paused the video. Then I realized it and kept talking. So anyhow, luckily it wasn't until the end. I was about ready to end the video, or the first clip anyways, before I get into the actual issue that occurred earlier today. So again, you know, Meepo has a great board, but they put some cheap product, and they're trying to save money when it would only cost them a little bit more to put a couple drops of blue Loctite on it's 5 more screws. The 1 set screw and 4 motor mount screws that hold the stator to the mount. If they throw a little Loctite on there, I would not have had a single issue with this board to date, because it runs great. It's got a lot of power. Other than that, it's great. It's just these screws keep coming loose. So as of right now, if you're looking to buy one of these pre-builts like I did, where I just wanted to be able to hop on it and learn the board and take off without having to do much work myself into it, you know, otherwise why not do a DIY board? You know, I would maybe look somewhere else. You know, Acetec's been having some great sales on their 2-wheel drive. Now those are carbon fiber boards. I've never ridden a carbon fiber board. I still plan on doing some more videos here on this. The bamboo deck is nice. So there's a lot of nice things to like about this board, but right now I'm just hesitant to suggest this to someone like you guys who work hard for your money, and you're spending a decent amount of money on a board like this that you got to work on yourself. I got to spend a little bit of money, again, not a ton, but some of my own money to fix this thing, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, Meepo is a pretty decent sized company, and heck, you go on YouTube, I'm getting bombarded by commercials trying to sell me their stuff when I already bought their stuff. Maybe, you know, spend a little less on the commercials and throw some damn Loctite on the thing. But that's me. I will continue to post videos about this board and continue to ride it, and hopefully now everything will be resolved. I got to figure out, I got to get, you know, 2 new screws, but I could probably find them at my local hardware shop, and I don't know. This might end up being a long video. I hope you stick with it. I hope you guys stay safe riding out there. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope this video helps you out, and have a great day, guys. So here you go. This tire will move freely. This one is completely seized up, will not turn at all. All right, let's see if we can get this thing fixed here, or at least show what the hell's going on here to Meepo, and I have to bitch and complain about this. Just taking off the nut that holds the wheel on. It's a lock nut. Right off. Now, let's see. This might be easier to put the board upside down now. Best way to set this camera up is get you guys the best angle here. I ain't gonna do it either. Here, let's try this side here. I don't know. This is so discouraging. You know, you buy one of these ready-made build ones because you don't want to have to deal, like, this isn't a do-it-yourself board here. I didn't build this. I didn't want to have to build my own board, but now this is like the second or third time now I'll be taking this, third time, because originally both of the motor mounts on here, the bolts came loose, and seized up the engine, so I had to go in and put blue Loctite on because they did not do that themselves. Now you'll see, where's the camera on here? You should be able to see there is blue Loctite on these screws. But, you know, this wasn't a cheap board. No, it wasn't the most expensive one either, but they have a advertising blitz going on YouTube. If you've ever watched anything on Eastgate, basically every YouTube video I watch now, you got a Meepo commercial on there. And I did my research, you know, watched a bunch of other YouTubers, and so many people had a ton of great things to say about this company. And right now, I'm really discouraged here. The fact that I had to fix the board, it's right out of the box. The motor mount screws came loose. Emailed them, they told me, and I don't know if this was a lost in translation thing, but they told me to use thread glue, which I'm assuming what that really means is Loctite. You know, seeing as they're a Chinese company, I'm thinking maybe that's what they actually meant, which makes sense. You know, I'm not going to put actual glue on there, because if I did that, taking this apart now for this issue would be basically impossible to fix. I have the slightest clue what could have caused this to seize up this time, because the motor mount bolts, I'm assuming, stayed put. There is, I don't know if that's just dirt, there is like dust all over this inner part here where you put the gear. I don't know if you can see that here. It's like black dust, but that might just be dirt. I don't know. Basically, so I can show you guys what I'm doing here. I'm removing all these screws, and this plate should come right off. And I am using their supplied tools here to do this. Their tools here seem to be, they do at least give you all the tools that seems to be required to fully disassemble and assemble this thing, which is nice. It's just, again, irritating that I even have to go through this with a board that I have exactly 70 miles on right now. This is a joke. Now, I do believe this comes with a warranty, so anything that happened here should be covered. And I'm not a super aggressive rider either. You know, I live in Pennsylvania here, and Pennsylvania does have some crappy roads, but alright, I mean, this looks fine. It's still full of grease. I don't know what's seizing up here. This looks fine to me too. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but that looks alright. So next thing I'm gonna do is take these off and try to, I guess, get access to the motor mounts maybe? I don't know. I have no freaking clue what I gotta do to get this fixed now. I'll take them off and let's see what's next here. Just keep breaking it down until we figure out what the problem is here. So at least this part here, where the gears are, does not seem like there's anything wrong. Don't think I need to take off the bolts that hold on the whole unit to the axle here. Guess we'll find out in a moment. Well, I guess I'm gonna have Oh man, I don't remember what it is. There's like a powdery type lube you can use for some of this stuff. Maybe that's what's going on here, but right now this right here is still seized. I can't turn that at all, so it means it's got to be on the inside of the stator here. Which these are the bolts I'm removing now that I put blue Loctite on. As you can see, they're not screws here. So now this is turning. So then why was this? So I'm not really sure what's going on here. It looks like there's a set screw here that has been possibly rubbing and grinding on the inside of this circle here. Yeah. I don't know what the set screw's for, but it's grinded so much that there's no top to the screw anymore. So it appears as though what this is supposed to do is lock this onto the shaft so that it can't come out. There is a little hole here where this probably goes in, and it backed itself out, and as it backed itself out, it jammed in here. And apparently ate away. You could see metal pieces and flakes all around here. The motor, I'm assuming then, is fine. Maybe what we'll do here, let me grab a towel and wipe my hands off before I go messing around with the controller. Is I'll see, this thing should spin now when the motor is turned on. Well, you know what? That might not be a good idea because I don't really have a good surface area to grab onto here. But I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna have to reach out to him. It needs a new set screw, and this should not be happening. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say here. The fact of the matter that this, if it zooms in here, backed out like it did and grounded itself down to the point that, I mean, it doesn't even have an end anymore that I could screw it back in and attempt to put thread locker on this. And that's where Meepo's screwing up here, is they're not putting thread locker on places that they need to put thread locker. These boards sustain a heck of a lot of vibration as you're riding it. And why wouldn't they put thread locker on everything? You're not supposed to be taken apart. And if you do, then it's on you. The only reason I ever took this thing apart is because initially these last screws I just took out did not have Loctite thread locker on it and were backing out and caused the board to seize up. Now, because this didn't have blue Loctite on it or thread locker, it backed out and wore itself down and totally seized up my motor, because then this piece caught itself inside this little circle and would not allow the stator to turn. Hopefully it didn't cause any sort of electrical damage on the inside, because I'm not familiar enough with the electronics and everything else to know about that. But this is really shitty on Meepo's side that they're putting this kind of crap out. These are ready-made boards you're supposed to get in the mail and freaking ride. So depending on what kind of customer service they do, right now I'm going to suggest you stay away from them. Because this, if all you want to do is hop on a board like I do and ride and enjoy the day, because today's beautiful out, so I'm going to be hopping on my one wheel, is disgusting. It's not right. So I will do a future video here letting you guys know what's up with this, what they end up saying, and I guess we'll go from there. But as you could probably tell, I'm pretty ticked off about this. This is the third time I've had to break this board down and stop riding because they don't know how to put these boards together, apparently. And I'm a novice here. Luckily, I'm able to figure my way around this stuff and break it down and put it back together the way I took it apart. Otherwise, you know, some other person might not know what they're doing. Beyond this, getting it to this far, had I had to get in this stator and figure it, I would have been lost. So who knows what's gonna and here's the other thing I'm worried about now. Is this in the other stator coming loose? Not cool, Meepo. So I will let you guys know. I'll update you as soon as I get some more information. Hopefully, I know this video wasn't the best. It was kind of, you know, out of the blue. But I tried to get in here exactly what was wrong so that you guys could see it. And I plan on sending this to Meepo. And so we could try to figure out what the heck's going on here. And stay safe riding out there, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys. I'll see what Meepo says, and you know, maybe they'll do right and they're worth a company to continue looking at. But right now, I don't know. So we'll go with that, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.